We got 8 now. 11 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and start the meeting. We'll have our city clerk please read the remote meeting instructions.
Pursuant to Governor Inslee's emergency proclamation regarding suspending certain provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act during the COVID-19 outbreak, the Toppenish City Council will not accept in-person public comments. All members of the public wanting to comment on City Council agenda items may submit written comments to include your name and address for the record in advance by email to cityclerk@cityoftoppenish.us by 4 p.m. on December 14, 2020, to be read during the meeting. Call-in information for listen-only mode is 253-215-8782, meeting ID 894-6684-1212, passcode 703204. Email cityclerk@cityoftoppenish.us or call 509-865-6754 with questions.
Thank you. And we now do the roll call.
Mayor Oakes,
I am here.
Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra,
Present.
Councilmember Belton,
Here.
Councilmember Seha,
Here.
Councilmember Duval,
Here.
Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Jimenez.
Present.
Let the record show we have full attendance and a quorum.
Okay, if we'd all please stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United
of
States of
America,
America.
And to the republic
Republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation, under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for
and
all.
justice for all.
Very good. With item 3, approve the agenda. I'd entertain a motion if there's any.
I make a motion, go ahead and approve the agenda in its entirety.
second.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Jimenez and seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Moving on to item 4, recognition of service. 4A, police officer Dirk Knight, is that right?
It's Officer Derek Knight.
It is Derek, okay.
Is Derek, yes. Thank you, Council and Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize him in front of the council. On December 7th of 2020, Officer Knight responded to a 17-year-old unresponsive male within the city of Toppenish and quickly determined that it was likely that the male was suffering from an opioid overdose. Prior to EMT's arrival, Officer Knight administered naloxone, Narcan, and within a couple minutes, the 17-year-old recovered and has survived to continue on. And it's my belief that without Officer Knight's actions, that young man probably wouldn't be here today. And as I was doing some research on this, this is the third time it's the fourth time Officer Knight has administered naloxone in the last, since say June, to unresponsive overdose subjects. And so I want to say that I appreciate his actions. I know that the community appreciates your actions, Derek. And the police department is awarding him a life-saving bar for his uniform. And so thank you, Derek. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Chief. I appreciate that.
All right.
Eric.
Yeah.
Thank you, yay. Thank you so much
you.
for your service. Bravo, Derek.
Thank you,
Good
council.
work.
Look, we even do fireworks. Whoosh, there you go. Sorry. That's what we do in class, sorry. But thank you so much for all your hard work and your dedication. And I know those families appreciate you saving those individuals' lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Chief.
Well, we appreciate the training that you step up and take and the quick decision-making that you're able to make to save lives. So thank you very much. Good
Thank you,
job.
Lance. It's my pleasure to work for Toppenish.
Good job.
Glad to have you.
Thanks.
Right, we'll move to item 4B. Retired Recreation and Aquatics Manager, James Cole. There we go. The City of Toppenish Distinguished Service Award, James R. Cole, in recognition and appreciation for your valuable contributions in building the city's recreation program and adding to the quality of life for the community's youth. Recreation and Aquatics Manager, Parks and Recreation Director from April 1st, 2008 through May 29th, 2020. Thank you. Anyone have anything they want to add?
Well, I think James was on here earlier. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I just want to thank him for his service.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
yeah,
He's
very good job.
Yes, thank you very much for your service, James. We really appreciate everything that you've done for our kids and the youth for the city of Toppenish, and for the many years of service that you've dedicated to them. Thank you.
I just also want to say thank you to James for all that he did for all of our families and the youth in our community. You gave the youth healthy and things to do, and I think that you're going to be very missed. I think you are very missed.
James, we really do miss you and all your hard work. I know you were the one out there beating the bushes and trying to get people to donate money for this fabulous cause of Parks and Recs. And without you, I don't know if that's going to happen anymore, because you had your connections and people were very loyal to you. So without that, the city's going to really miss your presence and your hard work and beating the bushes for money. So thank you so much for everything you did for the funds, but also for our children and the parents in our community.
And I'd like to add to that, James, that you have the recognition and the appreciation of generations of kids in your programs. I know that I think you even had grandkids of people that you programs like baseball, basketball, and swimming lessons that you provided for our community. So thank you so much for that, and congratulations on your retirement.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Good
you.
job, good job, good job. Fireworks. Thank you.
Thanks again, James. Appreciate all the fine work you've done for the years you've been here. You'll be missed.
Yes, he will be missed.
Guess we're ready to move on to 4C, which is retired city council member Blaine Thornton. It reads, City of Toppenish Distinguished Service Award, Blaine R. Thornton, in recognition of your many years of visionary guidance, exceptional leadership, and unconditional commitment serving on the Toppenish City Council as council member, mayor, pro tem, and mayor from August 25th, 1997 through April 28th of 2020. Thanks, Blaine. I missed the slap on the back, bud.
You
Well-
really are missed, Blaine. You don't know how much we miss you. I mean, that doesn't even say everything that you did. I mean, you were on almost every committee for the city that I can think of. You're also very dedicated to the Lions. I love when you're out there making the steaks, and I don't even like meat that much, but it's great to have you out there and knowing how to make my steaks. So thank you so much for always being there.
Well, let me say this. It's been quite can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
It's been quite an adjustment. And I told the PD before the meeting that, yeah, it does feel like home now, but I'm still in Toppenish practically every single day. I still work there. It is, I still consider Toppenish. When I was there for 67 years, it's hard not to consider Toppenish home. I enjoy working there still. Don't know how long I'm going to be working yet. I still see town. I'm still what I believe I'm still well connected with the city, with Public Works Department, especially. So I'm very much appreciative of the recognition tonight. I really wish we could all be together. I'm sure everyone agrees with that. But as I see each and every one of you in town, and I do see, I see you, some of you now and then, I'm touched. I'm touched that you have recognized me in this way. And I do miss, I've been told that I have been missed, but I miss all of you. And let me say that when you were going through the agenda looking for a second tonight, I came about this close, seconding the motion myself. So old habits are hard to break. So again, thank you. If you don't mind, I think I'll just sit in and watch the rest of the meeting.
I too want to just thank you, Blaine. The number of years that you serve the city is truly inspiring. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being so dedicated, because it's truly a wonderful thing, to give so much of your time and service to the city and your experience. And to me, you're a great example. And I just hope that other people feel inspired by what you did. And not only for the love that you have for the city, but also for the residents, and for working so hard to help just kind of guide the city in the right direction. And I know I take it to heart, and I'm so thankful for everything that you've done, because it's a huge commitment.
Thank you for that. As I said, and I'll repeat this, I still, even though I don't, it's not my home anymore, but I'm there every day, and I will always consider myself, a Toppenish lifer. So whether that be right or wrong, and I'll tell you something, this might sound a little morbid, but just to cement that thought in your heads, my final resting place has already been established out in Toppenish. So I truly am a Toppenish lifer. So thank you all
That's
again.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing everybody again soon. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blaine.
Yes,
Thank
Blaine, I'm one of those people that definitely looked up to you. I remember being in high school. I just thought you were the coolest person ever, because you were reading at our church at St. Aloysius. You were mayor of our town. You were driving my bus. So, I really thank you for the example, for the service that you gave to Toppenish, and for your leadership, and especially being new to the city council. I really want to thank you for your mentorship. You sat next to me, and you guided me, and you encouraged me. So thank you so much for everything you've done.
You're gonna make an old man cry.
I try not to cry.
Thank you.
That's media making us cry.
Oh, you know what, Naila? It's so awesome that you mentioned that, because for many years we used to live out of town, and Blaine was the bus driver for my children. And my children still recall that Blaine would point out different trees and things. And one of the ones that my kids learned and had never forgotten was the forsythia tree that we had in the front of our yard out on Rowberry Way. And my children would come home and say, "Oh yeah, that's a forsythia." And I'm like, "How in the heck do you know that?" "Oh, Blaine, our bus driver, is the one that would point out different trees and stuff." And I'll have you know that if it wasn't for Blaine playing country music on the bus, my kids would not be fans of country music because we hardly ever played that. And my kids would be singing country in the car. I'm like, how in the world do you know that? Oh, it's because of Blaine. So Blaine, you've touched many, many lives. And I'm sure that there's many residents and youth and children that have so many stories about how you have touched their lives. And again, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Let me, Pedia, just let me just piggyback on that country western music thing. Kids would get on there and they'd want to say, they'd want me to play some different, rock station or something. I said, this radio only plays two kinds of music. You guys can choose. I don't care. Either country or western. It's your choice. So,
That's so awesome.
all right.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Tell your kids I said, hey.
I sure will, Blaine.
Well, Blaine, it's probably a good thing that we're not all in the same room right now. I'm sure we'd be having one great big group hug. So I want to thank you for your service, big guy. And if anybody could be called Mr. Toppenish, it is you. So again, thank you. This plaque that you're receiving tonight will never be enough, but it is one way that we can say thank you very much.
Thank you, Lauren. That means a lot. And I know you've given your Southwest time as well. So thank you again.
Thanks, Blaine, for your service with the city, what you've done with the school and for council and everything. I wish I could have got a couple more years working with you on the council to learn more. I'm still in the learning process, but you're going to be sorely, sorely missed on the council. So I wish you the best of luck and God bless.
Yeah, George, thank you. I know it kind of happened fast. 1 minute, yes, and 1 minute out, in and out. I didn't anticipate things coming together as quick as they did. And that's just kind of what the real estate market was and still is at this time. And I look forward to seeing all of you when I'm still in Toppenish every day. Don't know when I'm going to retire yet. I still love working. So I have a reason to go to town, Toppenish every day. So thank you again.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you, Blaine.
You bet. Thank you for the award. Bye-bye.
All right. We'll move on to item 5. Advance public comments received by 4 p.m. on December 14th, 2020 to be read by staff at the meeting. City Clerk.
Mayor, let the record show the city did not receive public comment by the stated deadline.
Very good. In that case, we'll move on to item 6, the consent agenda. All matters on the consent agenda have been provided to each council member for review and considered to be routine or have been previously discussed and will be adopted by one motion and a vote without discussion. However, if a council member desires any item on this agenda will be discussed before any action is taken on it. Item 6A, approve the minutes of the November 23rd, 2020 regular council meeting. Item 6B, approve minutes of the December 7th, 2020 study session. Item 6C, approve payroll checks numbered 35114 through 35124 and the electronic transfer in the total amount of $163,425.18 dated December 11th, 2020. For 6D, approve claims checks numbered 92918 through 93033 and the electronic transfer in the total amount of $314,773.20 dated December 14th, 2020. I would entertain a motion.
So move to approve the agenda and the consent agenda in its entirety.
I'll second that.
I have a motion on the floor from Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra and seconded by Councilman Garcia to approve the consent agenda in its entirety. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to new business, item 7. 7A is AB 20-059, ordinance 2020-15, budget amendment for 2020. City Manager Hoyt.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, Council. Tonight is a night of updates, so I'll defer to Debbie Zabel, our Administrative Services Director, to talk about the proposed budget amendment.
Great. Well, good evening, Mayor and Council, and former Councilmember Blaine Thornton. It's very nice to see you. I miss you during our budget process. You always had great questions, kept me on my toes. And so for tonight, Council, this is our last meeting on budget until next year. And this is our annual budget amendment for the current year's budget. And we are required by the RCW to do a budget amendment if we have overexpended any of our expenditure line items, which throughout the year we have. There is an attached ordinance that does set the new budget for 2020, and I've also included the attached listing of the different funds and the items where we did go over on budget. We have 3 funds that we have reduced the budget on, and one of those in particular is for the public safety grants. Because of COVID, we did not receive the full amount for the fire truck from the casino grant. So we've had to reduce that budget because of that. So I would be happy to answer any questions any of you have regarding any of the items included in the budget amendment.
Then I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Did Clara second that?
Yes.
Oh, Claire, thanks. I didn't quite catch that. Thank you. Had a motion on the floor from Councilman Belton and seconded by Councilwoman Jimenez to adopt ordinance 2020-15 budget amendment for 2020. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Moving on to item 7B. AB 20-060, ordinance 2020-16, amending TMC chapters 13.16 and 8.10. City Manager Hoyt.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you tonight is ordinance number 2020-16. It reestablishes and clarifies the language for the 25% outside the rate for Toppenish utility users, utilities meaning water, sewer, and garbage. Since the 1930s, council at that time adopted the outside the city rate of additional 25% higher for water users. And as well as for in the 1950s, they also did the same for sewer and garbage. This language is spread out through our TMC, and sometimes it's confusing trying to find that. So it's staff's recommendation to update that language and put it in a fashion where it's easier to find. And so what we'd like to do is leave the sewer chapter 13-44, which states on 13-44-090, it says surcharge for outside the city users, an additional charge of 25% shall be made for all sewer services provided outside the city limits. We would like to add the same language for garbage in the garbage chapter, which is 810. So it would be 810, what is it? (810-172) surcharge for outside users. It's the same language. An outside charge of 25% shall be made for all garbage services provided outside the city limits. And then to the same thing we like to do for water, chapter 13-16. We need to correct some language there. In that language, 13-16-050, it talks about multiple unit dwellings and the computation of the bill. And then down below it says B, an additional charge of 25%. We'd like to strike that language of B and create a new section, 13-16-050, with that same language we used for the other two. Surcharge for outside the city users, an additional charge of 25% shall be made for all water services provided outside the city limits. That clarifies the language as the same language for water, sewer, and refuse, and it makes it easier for staff as well as any customer that would like an explanation of that.
Okay.
So I guess staff is, we're asking for a motion to approve ordinance 2020-16, amending the language for outside the city utility use.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2020-16.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion on the floor from Councilman Seha, seconded by Councilwoman Duvall, to adopt ordinance 2020-16, amending TNC chapters 13.16 and 8.10. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Having none, we'll move on to 7C.
Thank you.
AB 20-061, Resolution 2020-57, the fee schedule update. City Manager Hoyt.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to defer to Administrative Service Director Zabel to talk about the proposed fee resolution update.
Well, thank you again, Mayor and Council. This is our last fee resolution of the year. It's an annual update to the fee resolution, and it is for the fees for our cemetery so that they become effective January 1st. Council did make a decision in 2017 to have an automatic fee increase of 2% for the cemetery fees and a 10% for perpetual care fees. So we can continue to maintain our beautiful Elmwood Cemetery. The fees themselves are specifically located on page 4 of your attachment if you'd like to review those. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Hearing no questions, I'd entertain a motion.
I motion to adopt or to approve resolution 2020-57, updating the Toppenish master fee schedule.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Duvall, seconded by Councilwoman Jimenez, to approve resolution 2020-57, the fee schedule update. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. We'll move on to item 7D, AB 20-062, resolution 2020-58, interfund loan.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2020-58 pertains to an interfund loan for the street department. And so I could defer to our Administrative Services Director, Debbie Zabel, for any explanation.
Thank you, Council. We have done a similar loan a few years ago, and this is a just-in-case loan. So we did make reimbursement request today for one of our projects, but just in case we do not get our reimbursement before the end of the year, we cannot let this fund have a negative balance. So in the event that we do not receive our reimbursement, we would make an interfund loan from the general fund to the capital street fund. And when the reimbursement is received after January, we would then pay the general fund back with that reimbursement. So if we do not need the loan at your first council meeting in January, we will bring another resolution forward for council to cancel this loan. And if we don't receive the reimbursement, we will again utilize the loan. So are there any questions regarding the need for an interfund loan?
No, but I just want to mention that if we do give the loan, they always pay back with interest.
They do, and we use the state's local government investment pool interest rate for that.
What is the interest rate? Is it very?
It's
Not
like
very
0.018.
very minimum? Okay.
I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve resolution 2020-58 interfund loan.
I'll second that.
You have a motion on the floor from Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra, seconded by Councilwoman Duval to approve resolution 2020-58, the interfund loan. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to item 7E. AB 20-063, resolution 2020-59, the official newspaper for 2021. City Manager White.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll defer to our city clerk, Heidi Riojas.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight before you is a proposed resolution to designate the next official newspaper for the city for 2021. The city is required to do this invitation for bid each year. And this year I did the bid and we only received one solicited bid by the deadline. And that newspaper is Sunnyside Sun. So the proposed resolution is to designate the Sunnyside Sun as the official newspaper for the city of Toppenish from January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. Do you have any questions?
I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we go ahead and accept that bid from the Sunnyside Sun to be the newspaper for the city for the 2021, I guess, calendar year.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Jimenez, seconded by Councilman Garcia to approve resolution 2020-59, official newspaper for 2021. Any further discussion?
I just also want to make sure that we add that we also authorize the city manager to sign the bid for the contract for the official newspaper.
Okay. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll move on to 7F. Sorry, what?
That.
I don't know. AB 20-064, resolution 2020-60, declaring property surplus. City Manager Hoyt.
Thank you, Mayor. I would once again defer to our city clerk, Heidi Riojas.
You're muted.
You,
Heidi, you're muted. You need to unmute.
Thank you. Thank you. I move around too much here, so I mute myself. Anyway, okay. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This proposed resolution is to declare certain property that is with the Public Works Department as surplus, as it is either not operable or it's no longer of use. The items are listed on Schedule A, Exhibit A, and they will be put on public surplus. Do you have any questions?
I'd entertain a motion then.
I motion to approve resolution 2020-60 declaring items listed on Exhibit A as surplus.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion on the floor from Councilwoman Duvall, seconded by Councilwoman Garcia to approve resolution 2020-060 declaring property surplus. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposing? Hearing none, we'll move on to 7G. AB 20-065, Resolution 2020-61, declaring need for Housing Authority of the City of Yakima to operate in the City of Toppenish. City Manager Hoyt.
thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2020-16 authorizes the Housing Authority of the City of Yakima to acquire, rehabilitate, operate rental housing within the City of Toppenish under the Farmers Home Administration Program. This is basically an update to a resolution that the City Council adopted back in December 12th, 1983. It's updating the language there. So it's basically the City of Toppenish City Council declares that there's a need for the Housing Authority to exercise its power in the city by providing affordable and safe housing. And by resolution, RCW 3582-070-13, the Housing Authority has the ability or the authority to exercise powers outside its boundaries. So basically what it means, the City of Toppenish City Council authorizes the Housing Authority of the City of Yakima to operate and acquire and rehabilitate rental housing inside the city limits of Toppenish.
Are there any questions?
Mayor Oakes, can I ask a question to City Manager Lance?
Sure.
Okay. So I saw that they've already, this was brought up a long time ago, but what wasn't clear to me was if we do this every year. I just don't remember doing this every year.
No, this is an update of that 1983 document. So evidently, that's been quite a few years, and evidently the Farmers Home Administration Program is requiring new language or updated language, so the Yakima Housing Authority for the City of Yakima can operate.
They currently already do. They just want us
Yes,
to.
they're currently here. They've got numerous properties that they build and administrate and rent here in Toppenish.
So I move to approve resolution 2020-61 declaring the need for the Housing Authority of the City of Yakima to operate within the boundaries of the City of Toppenish.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor from Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra, seconded by Councilwoman Jimenez to approve resolution 2020-61 declaring need for Housing Authority of the City of Yakima to operate in the City of Toppenish. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. We will go
Thank
to item 7H. AB 20-066, resolution 2020-62. Approve interlocal agreement for a bait vehicle.
Thank you, Mayor. This pertains to an interlocal agreement for a bait car. I would defer to our interim chief of police, Tim Bardwell, for further information.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is regarding council's consideration of an interlocal agreement for a bait car program. The agreement would be between 5 different agencies or municipalities: Toppenish, Moxie, Sunnyside, Grandview, and the Yakima County Sheriff's Office. A bait car is a proactive approach to address the stolen vehicle issues that we have throughout all our communities in the valley. Yakima Sheriff's Office is going to provide us with a vehicle, a suitable vehicle for the program. And the startup cost for the program is $8,429.90, and then $2,000 per year for maintenance of the items that we put in the vehicle. I don't know how much detail I need to go into regarding a bait vehicle. They're pretty well known what they do. Does council have any questions regarding what a bait vehicle is? Okay. It can also be used for anti-theft. We can, place items in the car, park it in a high theft area, and also target car prowlers that way as well. So once the interlocal agreement is signed, it would be in effect indefinitely. The ILA may be canceled for any reason by any parties with a 30-day written notice to the Toppenish Police Department. We would be administering the bait car program. And I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding it.
Chief, I got a question about the bait car.
Go.
How often will it be used here in Toppenish?
Well, I guess it'll depend on manpower and how many people we have on the street. And I would like to use it frequently. It'll be shared between 5 different agencies, however. I would say at least once a month, maybe twice.
Did we have bait cars in the past? I believe we had. Did we have bait cars in the past?
The sheriff's office has in the past, and I know that we've used it, not during my time here though.
Okay. Do you know if they, well, you probably don't know this, if they were successful while we did use them in our city?
They did have some success. I don't know about their successes in Toppenish itself.
Okay.
We have used them here in the city in the past because I know it's brought to council on a certain one. I know Lauren's going, yeah, we remember that. Yeah, so it's been used. Yeah, it served its purpose.
I just have a quick question on the budget, Chief, as far as the dollars that we're talking about, and what line item that would come from budget-wise.
That I can't answer off the top of my head. Debbie, can you help me with that?
We could utilize either the criminal justice fund for that cost or the patrol budget out of general fund.
But the money is budgeted then?
It is not budgeted for next year, but we do have the ability to add that to the budget, and we can bring forward a budget amendment for that.
Okay.
And Debbie, the money's there, so we could actually use it?
Yes, we have plenty of fund balance that we could utilize those funds for, yes. In either one of the criminal justice fund or the general fund.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion then to
move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Belton, seconded by Councilwoman Jimenez, to approve resolution 2020-62, approve interlocal agreement for a bait vehicle. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll move on to 7I, AB 20-067, resolution 2020-63, approve collective bargaining agreement for dispatchers.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you is the Teamsters Collective Bargaining Agreement for the police dispatch. I'll defer to Debbie Zabel, our Administrative Services Director.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So tonight we have before you the first bargaining agreement for the Toppenish dispatchers. We have been working with the dispatchers and the local Teamster 760 to remove the dispatchers from the general bargaining agreement into their own bargaining agreement. It was a great success working with the dispatchers on this. The 3-year contract does provide for 3 years of cost of living, with the first year being a 6% cost of living. The purpose for that sizable increase is our need to get the pay for our dispatchers up to a comparable rate with other dispatchers in the area. We've been unable to keep dispatchers, and we've been running at least a 1-person vacancy for the last 2 years. Today we had oral boards for 2 people to do oral boards for our vacant position. 1 person called to cancel and the other person did not show up. So we're going to go back to the drawing board again to advertise for a dispatcher, and hopefully with the increase in pay, we will get some more traction for the position. So it is a good contract, and the dispatchers have all voted on it. And again, it was a mutually agreeable contract for both sides. So with council's approval, staff would recommend approving the contract with the Toppenish dispatchers.
Deb, do you think that that is why we're not getting people to stay and people to apply, is because the salary, or are there other issues?
Well, salary is going to be part of it, but it is a pretty challenging job. I mean, it's shift work. It is dealing with the ugly side of the world, and there's not a lot of commendation, and it's a difficult job. So I commend the dispatchers for what they do, because I don't know if a lot of people have the ability to keep up and do the job that they do.
And I just want to thank our dispatchers. I mean, they do have a tremendous job that they have huge responsibility. They're answering phones, they're watching over our officers, and I couldn't do that job, to tell you the truth. I mean, they're micromanaging and multitasking like you wouldn't believe. And those gals in there are just great.
Any
If
other
we don't have
questions?
anything else, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2020-63.
Very good.
I'll second that.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Seha, seconded by Councilwoman Duvall, to approve resolution 2020-63, approve collective bargaining agreement for dispatchers. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Thank you.
Any opposed? Moving on to 7J.
But before we step out of that, I would like to congratulate both sides of that negotiation process of working together, having patience. It took a year to get there, and to come up with an appropriate contract that's fair for everyone. So we're excited to be able to present that to council tonight. And thank you for ratifying that. So, sorry.
Thank you. Item 7J, AB 20-068. Declare the Lincoln Avenue, Dayton Avenue, and Beach Street improvement projects complete and start the 60-day lien process. City Manager Hoyt.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to defer to Rocky Wallace, our Public Works Superintendent. There he is.
Mayor and Council, the Lincoln Avenue, Dayton Avenue, and Beach Street improvement projects were substantially complete on August 11th, 2020. The project has been completed satisfactorily. HLA, the city's engineer, recommends the city declare this project complete and start the 60-day lien process. Are there any questions?
So Rocky, I know that one of the things that we're doing with it, we're putting a cover or something on all those storm drain things, remember? That I brought it up one time because we had that flash flood kind of thing. Did they go through the whole area and take all those covers off so that now the water can actually go into the drain?
Yes, that was part of the sewer improvement project.
Right.
The covers that were on the drains over at Lincoln Dayton Beach, those were also removed, yes.
Okay, so even the ones that were, because I know when I asked about it in the past, they said that they would take them all off when they were totally done. Not just that area, but the east side of town as well. So they took them all
Yes.
off, including east side.
Yes, that's what I have been told.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion. Once again, I'd entertain a motion.
Declare the Lincoln Avenue, Dayton Avenue, and Beach Street improvements project complete and to start the 60-day lien process.
Second.
Who seconded that? Thank you. I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Duvall and seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra to declare the Lincoln Avenue, Dayton Avenue, Beach Street improvement project complete and start the 60-day lien process. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? Move on to 7K. Discuss to cancel the December 28th, 2020 regular meeting. I know this is something we usually do every year because there's generally nothing there to discuss. I don't know. With the agenda we got tonight, it should be covered everything.
I know we've been having a lot of meetings lately, so I don't know. I mean, now that everything is Zoom, I think if we need a meeting, we should just go ahead and keep it the way it is. I know that this one was pretty jam-packed, but I mean, I sure don't want to go into the new year and have to have not only the regular 3 meetings, but have another 1 or 2 more on top. So do you think that we need another meeting or you think we're okay?
Can we use another one?
I think staff anticipates that this would have been the last meeting of 2020. That's one of the reasons why we have all of our updates stacked pretty high on here. Our biggest concern was the interfund loan, and we got that covered. And so that's what we probably would have brought up at the next meeting. But I think we're covered for this year.
And we do have the resolution that authorizes the city manager and the administrative services director to pay the last accounts payable that would have been on December 28th. And then we would be bringing that forward to council for the first council meeting.
For approval.
So hopefully that means that when we start the new year, January, we'd only have the 3 meetings. We wouldn't have to add on all these other special meetings.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. I'd entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Belton, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra to cancel the December 28th, 2020 regular meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
I
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Moving on to 7L. Set agenda for the January 4th, 2021 study session.
Thank you, Mayor. I've got two items that could be on the study session. The first one of the year. One is a 15-minute executive session for update on potential litigation. And the second one would be selection of the YV-COG committee. All our other committees and boards are on a 2-year cycle, and this is the middle year. So we have two items to go for the next study session.
Sound good, everyone? Yep. Okay. Wow. Move on to item 8. Council meeting reports and community announcements. Councilman Seha.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Councilwoman Jimenez.
Yes, I did attend the COG meeting that we had on the 9th of December. It was the shortest meeting we've ever had. It only lasted an hour. I couldn't believe it. It was great. We did have a presentation by the Yakima Valley Tourism Director, John Cooper. Of course, we all know tourism is down, but the brighter side of it, we weren't as low as other places as far as our tourism money that we were losing. So he thinks it's going to take all of next year, though, for it to become a little bit more normal when it comes to tourism and tourism funding. So not good, but like he said, it's better than it could have been. But what really got to me was December is when COG gives out the Outstanding Service Award. I'll try not to cry. And so they gave it to Norm Childress, which it's very well deserved. My concern is that they always wait till somebody drops dead before they give them the award. It would be nice if they gave the award when someone was still alive. Because no, I mean, this has happened in the past. And I'm just thinking, we have lots of great people out there that are very deserving. I was thinking of Al Hubert. I was thinking of John Hawkins from Union Gap. I was thinking of Moore from Grandview. There's so many individuals that are so deserving that it would be nice to give them the award when they're still alive instead of giving it to them when they're dead and nobody knows. So anyway, I just hope they change it so they're given while the person's still alive and not when they die. So that was my biggest one, was recognizing that Norm got the Outstanding Service Award. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Garcia.
Nothing to report.
Belton.
Nothing to report. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Councilwoman Duvall.
Yes, I wanted to remind everyone, I know that Lance is probably going to talk about it, but tonight is the first night of the extreme weather shelter. I want to thank the people that are organizing that and are providing a shelter again for the homeless in our community. I also want to remind people that I'm still looking for help. I am organizing serving dinner on Sundays. I'm looking for disposable serving trays, napkins, and disposable serving utensils that I can take. Any help would be welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra.
I have nothing to report for the good of the order.
Thank you. Well, the other thing I noticed is, as Councilwoman Duvall, there's no crane in your picture.
Rain?
Great.
raining outside?
And other than that, no, we'll move on to item 9, city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I've got a few things to update council on. One is the extreme weather shelter. It is tonight's its first night. I kind of stopped by on my way here. It looked like they had 9 people participating tonight on the first night. Camp Hope and Mike Kay have been supplying meals to about 150 people on the weekends or a couple times a week. So they're hopefully going to gain some trust, and more people will take advantage of the extreme weather shelter. Like to thank Yakima Valley Farm Workers. They stepped up and donated the building again. They had their contractors come in and install a new door that was midway in the building. So now there's enough room for the COVID spacing now that we have to have to operate that. Talking with Mike Kay this afternoon, he's pretty hopeful that in the next 2 weeks, he'll have enough donations that he may be able to expand the 12-hour shelter to a 24-hour shelter. So we're excited to hear that. He's got a private donor that he's visiting with on that subject, and hopefully he'll be able to bump that up to 24 hours. So we appreciate all that help. Also tonight, I'd like to thank Public Works for getting all the seasonal lights and the banners up. And I'd like to thank Jody Milton, his family, for coming around with his bucket truck that's big enough so we could restring the lights on the Christmas tree. Our refuse group, Barry Gatlin and Jim Allen, also assisted with that, and also Ideal, who donated some more lights so we could get that tree dressed up and looking good. So I appreciate all that help. I'd like to let council know that the police department has offered 2 lateral officers a position. They've gone through the first couple rounds of testing, and they're enrolled into the academy, which is the short 2-week academy, and that'll be pending on how well they do on their psychological their evals that are happening this week. So the beauty of that is where we've been working with 3, 4, and 5 vacancies in our police department. When we get if we're able to get these 2 hired, we'll only have a single vacancy. So we're really appreciative of the opportunity to hire and get a full police force rolling again. So we appreciate that. Let's see, there's some other updates on some projects. The Public Works building, hopefully we'll go to add in first week of January. Most of the design is complete. I guess all the design is complete on the building and with the architect, and the site improvements to water, sewer, and road stuff by the civil engineers. So that'll go out. They're anticipating owner occupancy December 1st of next year. So by next year this time, hopefully there'll be a new Public Works facility. It's been a long road to get there, and hopefully we're excited to get that rolling forward. Our West First Street sidewalk improvement project and our Safe Routes to School project, which is over by Lincoln School. Those will go out to add the first week of February, and hopefully they'll be able to coincide. You know, maybe some of the contractors that have the Public Works shop will be able to participate in those 2 small projects. And I believe that the second phase of the sewer will also go out in February for ad. And that's about all I have tonight. So Merry Christmas to everybody.
Lance, I was going to ask you, I was driving through town this afternoon and I noticed that the trees at Railroad Park are filled with those beautiful black crows. Yeah, you know where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a plan? Is there a plan?
We tried in the past to bring the fire truck in at midnight on a cold night, spray the birds to discourage them from being there. They kind of they're pretty smart birds by the time we were done spraying. setting up to spray and sprayed a little bit. They all left. And by the time the fire trucks were gone, they had come back in. We've talked with the game department. We've talked with a crow society or something back east. And this is a normal grouping of crows. What they do in the winter, they get together for protection and socialism. They socialize together and they're there, and they don't break up again until end of February, 1st of March, when they start their mating process. So yes, there could be some whitewashing of sidewalks we'll have to take care of. And Public Works is out there making sure when you have a large populations of birds, there could be some mortality, and they'll pick that up, and there we are. Be careful walking around the parks right now. So
Thank you.
It is the Christmas season though, so they're all
Yeah.
gonna get together.
crows in a pear tree.
If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and adjourn.
Have a Merry Christmas,
Christmas,
everyone.
everyone.
Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Be
Nice to
warm.
be here today.